Well, self-esteem to me means that you're living your own life. You're not living by other people's opinions or what they want you to do. It's what you want to do, and it's how you're going to do it. I, believe it or not, was shy once. When I was a little kid, I'd hide behind my parents' legs, and I wouldn't come out when guests came. And with me, what helped me is that I knew I was my own worst enemy in that sense. I knew that the shyness was always going to prevent me from doing stuff. And so anytime I figured out what scared me, I would do it anyways. Back in elementary school, I thought singing in front of people was, as scary as you could get. I don't care about the scary movies, anything. Singing in front of people was my big fear. And so I auditioned for choir. Seems very counterintuitive, but that's what I did. I didn't actually even make it, but just doing that helped me immensely. When I moved to Fountain Hills, I decided that I was going to try out for theater. And I didn't make it, but that didn't matter because I thought getting up on a stage was really scary. And so I got up there and auditioned for a play anyways. Every time that I made an obstacle in my mind, I just kept hurdling them. And actually, I kept trying out for plays because I figured, well, if I did it once, I can do it again. And I kept doing it again and again and again. And I actually ended up making it once. And then twice. And then again and again and again. I've ended up being in, I think, 7 shows over the course of 2 years. It proved something to myself. That I could, in fact, get up on a stage, I could do a monologue, and they wouldn't boo me off the stage. I proved that it was going to be okay. And I had so much fun afterwards. It was confidence booster for sure, but it was something that I wouldn't have done if I hadn't gone up there and tried it. I keep finding something else that I think is scary or that I don't want to do, and I'll do it anyways. And to me, that's kind of self-confidence. It proves that you in fact can do it and you're not afraid to try, even if you're afraid of what you're doing. When I went to high school, it was with my artwork. I wasn't sure, if people would accept my artwork or whatever else, and I actually now have a business. I've made money off of something that I didn't even think was that good. And so the reward is in itself. Not only have I gained so much more experience, so much more confidence, and that I feel good in what I'm doing, but I've actually, gotten something out of it as well. Ever since I was really little, everyone said that I knew who I was. And at first, when I was little, I didn't understand what they were saying. But now that I've gotten older, I kind of understand more of what they mean. I do know who I am. I know what I like. I know, what I want in life. And the thing is that I just didn't hear that on the street and say, oh, well, that's what I want too. I created it for myself. It wasn't someone else's opinion. It was mine. And I think it's just claiming what's yours that can really shape, it defines who you are. We are shaped by other people's opinions and what they think of what we're doing much more than actually having our own opinions. I think it comes down to just forming your own opinions and not taking into account what other people are telling you to do. It's forging your own way. I was reading a fashion magazine, and I was looking at all these different trends, what's in now, what was in then, and I decided that I really don't fall into one category or the other. I either, I pick the trends that I like and I'll follow those, and if I don't like them, then I won't follow them. It's that simple. I think kind of goes the same way with life as well. There's not exactly fitting in or standing out. There's kind of a gray zone in between, and that's where I fall. Because I'm not, one to just follow the crowd, whatever they want to do, even if it's something I don't like to do. But I'm not on the other end of the scale where I'm always taking charge, pulling people with me. I'm kind of a good combination, I'm trying to be modest here, but I'm a combination of the two. And so sometimes I'll lead, sometimes I follow, but I know where my values are. And so if they're doing something, if my friends are doing something that I don't like or I don't want to do, I won't do it. But at the same time, I'll try getting them out of their shell and let's go bowling, let's go swimming, let's go do something, and I'll try pulling them with me in that sense. But if they don't want to do it either, I'm not going to push them. And so I think it's all about balance. as much as it is self-esteem. When I was shy, the only thing I was focusing on at the time was the person in front of me. You know, like a stranger in the house type of a thing. But I didn't look past it and think, you know, what could I gain from actually getting to know them? I mean, obviously I was younger at the time, but you just have to get out there. You have to try new things, otherwise you're never going to make connections and you're never going to progress forward. I think that people who are depressed or who have low self-esteem move forward at a very slow pace, if at all, versus the people who have high self-esteem seem to, you know, bound through life. And I think it has a lot to do with just looking past what's happening to you right now and looking to see, you know, how is this going to help me in the future? What's going to happen in the future? Like, you have to develop goals, I guess is the best way to say it. If you develop those goals, then you know what you're working towards instead of just kind of meandering along and you're not really sure what you're doing. And confidence comes from knowing what you're doing. You know the people who are in charge and who are ready and who know what they're doing, they're confident in what they're doing, and you know who they are instantly. You know, they have that sort of aura about them, but it comes from knowing what you're doing and knowing where you're trying to be and where you're trying to get to so that you can get there. So I think people who have low confidence and low self-esteem need to be able to see past it and just kind of, the world opens up after that, you know. You've got to be able to say, you know, this is where I want to be, how do I get there?